The instant I unpause this, I'm gonna get screwed. Ah, I knew it. Okay, I've had a bit of downtime and a ton. I don't even remember where it begins and where it stops of failed recordings. So we're in a pretty different position. Spelunkette, my mistake. Spell sword, barbarian king. A barbarian's alright. Do I risk the reroll? Do it. Spell sword, lich king, spell sword. Lich king with spiky balls. This is a failed run already. But yeah, in a ton of failed recordings, I've upped my attack. I think I've upped my HP, equipment up, even armor up at some point. I don't know if I upped my mana or magic damage or whatever. I believe I got a new pair of boots in that. Okay. I got these runes, curse runes for 2 pieces, which I'll throw on. Hopefully this will make the run more unbearable, because yeah, this run's gonna suck. I am a lich with garbage. A garbage spell that a lich can and will not stand for. It's pretty much the only thing I can buy. And you're not worth equipping, so onward. But yeah, I feel like I can talk through this run. I had a pretty long downtime between this part. Oh right, journals. I believe 19, 20, and 21 are new entries, so maybe 19 isn't, but I'm gonna reread it anyway. I've been standing outside the dungeon gate for longer than I care to admit. My courage has finally been sapped, for I have spied the monsters below, and they make my previous struggles laughable in comparison. I must steel myself. I must focus. There is so little light down there, I fear that I may lose myself. It ain't music. Haha, I thought I knew what darkness was, but here in the dungeon, the darkness has a voice. It calls at me through grates and around corners. It taunts me. The darkness is so thick, it is almost tangible, and the beasts here have made it their home. They move swiftly through the corridors, and are more terrifying than anything I've fought before. I must be prudent and choose my battles carefully. Being confrontational now may cost me my life. And 21. I have done it. I have defeated the dungeon's master. All that remains is to enter the throne room. After this, the king will honor me for my valor and acknowledge me as rightful successor to the throne. Not my faceless siblings. So, we've got entries 1 through 18, which are about the castle, the Maya, and the forest, and it took 18 entries for. And then in 3 entries, he's entered, conquered his fear of the land of darkness, and bested the land of darkness. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Whoa. So yeah, like I was saying, I've had a decent amount of downtime, and I can't use the excuse I'm out of practice because of how many failed recordings I've had. So while I'm not in prime, I was probably not even in my prime when I beat the Neo version of the boss, I am not out of practice entirely. So any terrible gameplay you see, yep, it's just par for the course at this point. Is me being bad. I'm not I'm building up max health, right. Not building up MP. So, a part of that downtime and failed recording was thinking about how to handle Rogue Legacy from this point forward. Like, the thing is, I love roguelikes, I really do. And hey, I enjoy just running through the castle a dozen times, making as much money as I can for minimal incremental increases. You want me to fly over there, but my flight is only at 1. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So, like, I really do, and that's not me being sarcastic, enjoy just running through, getting money, and then jumping out, getting 1 upgrade, which is pretty much what is to be expected from this kind of roguelike. You got the roguelikes that give you items and upgrades at random. So when you go in, like the Binding of Isaac, you never know which upgrades or power-ups you're gonna get in a run, and that makes them all different. In Rogue Legacy, it's whoa. In Rogue Legacy, however, it's about yeah, go back to the major upgrade window after you've cleared your run, spend what cash you got at the end of it, and make marginal upgrades to help you clear the castle, or, well, the entire thing is the castle is what I'm getting at. To help you clear the game better. Oof. And I'm not getting better, apparently. But yeah, I like this too, but the problem with it is that this could go on forever. Like, well, until I finish the entire tree, that is. And, well, I would do that. I would be the type of person to... Really? I didn't turn around. I would be the type of person to play this almost indefinitely, being like, hey, I haven't gotten everything I wanted, or I want to just get more powerful, I want this upgrade, that upgrade, even making milestones like, hey, you know what, I'll beat the game when I get all of the attack upgrades. Sure, let's make that the thing. I'm not going to, but I would be, you know, on board for that. I do enjoy Rogue Legacy to the extent that I like to play it as much as I can, but the fact that it hurts me, the fact that the journal is talking about Land of Darkness, and even how he's beaten the Land of Darkness. And me over here, what's up? That's me, yeah. Haven't even... If you put me in the Land of Darkness, I'm gonna be mad. We're somewhere in the forest. Okay, that's fine. I didn't get to clear out the castle, but hey, that's whatever. Eerily empty is the forest today. Yep. Not anymore, it isn't. Yo. Hold on. Ah, there was a chest up there, and all my spike balls just destroyed my pathway. I honestly didn't know spike balls could destroy the barrels. For missing the treasure chest, you guys dropped so much gold. Yeah, I can't get there. It was just a regular chest, so nothing to beat myself up for too much. See? We made up for it, kind of. Anyway, what I was saying is that... Wait, what was I saying? It was something about playing Rogue Legacy forever, or something along that line. I wouldn't mind just sitting here and playing it. Finally, in all of those failed recordings, which I think were like 4 failed recordings and like a total of like an hour of footage, in all of those failed recordings, I never got another sword. Never. And even after the Neo boss fight, which was, I think, one of the last parts I uploaded, never got another sword. But hey, hopefully this money we have will get us a better sword, because that's the main thing I was after coming in here. So, back on topic. Whoa! No, don't get distracted. The topic being how I'm going to handle Rogue Legacy from now on. There are, I don't know how many classes in Rogue Legacy, and I'm talking mostly about what I have currently unlocked. Is there a treasure chest? There is, but I can't get to it because I don't have dwarfism. Anyway, mostly about what I intend to do, and the thing is, there are, I think, 6 classes. Spikeballs don't go through. Yep. There are 6 classes, I believe, that I have currently. And the breakdown is as follows. Spell Sword, I do not like. I despise the Spell Sword. And I despised it long before the Neo boss fight where I was forced to use a Spell Sword. Of course, but it didn't help. Alright, it didn't endear me to them. So, there's Spell Sword, there's Assassin, which is like a failed Hokage. The Hokage can run through and just one-shot things, whereas the Assassin, like, they could potentially do the exact same, run through and just one-shot things, but they need critical attacks to do it, whereas the Hokage can just do it naturally. And I believe one of the drawbacks is that Hokages can't critical. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I don't like the Assassin. I'm not playing with the luck and hoping for crits, even though I think they would do more damage. Maybe if I put points into crit rate instead of where I actually put points into, which is a ton of attack, they would be worth something. But right now, no. I found my way back to the castle. There's a decent chunk still left to explore. We can do that. So, one of my things about the classes and the breakdown, actually, did I cover? There's Spell Sword, and then there's Mage. I think Mage is completely separate from Spell Sword, right? Let me check. The instant I unpause this, I'm gonna get screwed. Ah, I knew it! Okay, so I checked, and we've got the Paladin. We've got the... Oh heck no, I heard another Doombus. We've got the Paladin, we've got the Assassin, we have the Archmage, the Spell Sword, and the Spelunker. Oh, also the Dragon. And the classes I just listed off are not all of the classes, obviously. They are all of the ones I do not like. That is what I was listing off. Those classes I do not care for at all. And even the Lich right now, I don't care about, because, hey, I don't have the one spell that I actually think is amazing on the Lich, which is the Crow. So without that, even the Lich is on that list. It is not as bad as, say, the Dragon or the Spell Sword, but still. So with that said, one of the conclusions or not a drawn conclusion, but one of the things I came up with for Rogue Legacy moving forward is that I want to speed it along tremendously. And a way of doing that is how I intend to manage the classes that I get. And so how I want to handle it is I left out, I think, 3 classes that we currently have unlocked from the list. Those being Barbarian, Hokage, and, well, I did mention the Lich, but the Crow Lich I feel like is an entirely different class. It really isn't. Ooh. But For me, at least, it feels like it. So, how I'm gonna handle it is that those 3 classes will always take priority. And how it will go is that if I get a Lich with Crow, I will do my extreme farming, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. Thank you, Land of Darkness. I'll clear out everything, I'll try to power up as much as I can, and if I find the boss of an area that I've already cleared out, I will take that boss on. So, as it stands right now, if I were to have cleared all of the castle and all of the forest on a Lich with Crow, I would then go and face the forest boss, Alexander, again. For Hokages, I'm gonna speedrun it. I won't actually be speedrunning anything, because, I mean, I'm not that good. But what I will do is blow through everything. Pistol Shrimp! But what I will do is try to blow through everything as a Hokage, since I can just one-shot rooms. How did that not hit me? I'm not complaining. And I will try to get to the boss. I'll essentially use the Hokage to boss rush, is what I'm saying. Oh, that's bull. So, like, if I was a Hokage, the instant I saw that boss room for Alexander, I would go in. Because the Hokages are just that damn strong. How many bones did you just throw, man? Yeah. Screw it. Wait a minute. Oh, there are 2 of you in here. Okay, that makes more sense. That was crazy. Now, this isn't a bad run at all. I'm down to no health, but hold on. Does this max MP need higher level? Okay. You know what? If I die, I die. So, how I'm gonna handle it is that Hokage's are boss rush mode. Lich with Crow is super farm mode. And Barbarian King is gonna be somewhere in the middle. I don't necessarily know how I'm gonna handle it, but of the classes currently, Barbarian is cool with me. It's probably my 3rd favorite. Crow on Lich being my number 1. I should not have hit that. Being my number 1, I just love how lazy I can be. Walk into a room, press my Crow, and wipe everything. Hokage being 2nd, being able to run through in one shot, super cool. And last, but not least, in my top 3 at least. How did I mess that up? Would be Barbarian King, because similar to Hokage in how they can just run through and one-shot everything without much of a care, Barbarian King's similar in the defensive aspect. You can run through and not care because you're so tanky, versus running through and not caring because nothing can survive a hit from you. So that's where I stand, and that's how I'm going to try and handle it from now on. Depending on what classes I get, it'll just determine what kind of run I'm about to have. So if I get a Lich King or Queen with Crow, I'm going to try and clear all I can, and if I do that successfully, I will hit up the boss. If I get a Hokage, I'm going to try to beeline it to the boss room. Woo. He got juggled. That was awesome. And if I get a Barbarian King, I'm going to try to do some hybrid of the 2. I'll probably try to play somewhat cautious while trying to get to the boss. And what I mean is that while I'll have tons of health and I can just run into things, I'll try not to do that. Every other class, like if I get 3 spell swords, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to just dump the run at that point because I've got classes I don't care about, or if I want to actually try. I mean, right now I have a class I genuinely don't care about, which is Lich with something other than the spell I want. Not enough spike balls in this room. Oh, that's Sir Gouda? Sure. Was done in by a projectile. It was a freaking... What was it? What was... No, not a... I'm gonna call it a pillar. It was an earth pillar from the ground. It was not a projectile. I wanted to say stalagmite. Stalactite? One of them is a protrusion from the ground. Rogue Legacy. Alright, time to implement the strategy I just talked about. Spelunker, Spell Sword, Archmage. These are all terrible. If I had to pick between these three, I don't know who I would pick, but it would be a terrible run for me. Hokage, Assassin, Archmage. Of course, when I said all of those things, I did not account for the various traits, that the character has. So in this instance, I don't believe this entirely kills the Hokage, but I don't want to pick him because of this. It's the blur. The other one isn't even bad, but the blur. First things first, let's get that sword. 6 damage. That's not great, but it's the best thing we've got. Weight. Weight is going to be an issue right now. Let me see. Health, mana, but armor goes down significantly. Why would I pick that? Why would I want that? You are just for magic, so we can go to the base boots to lower our weight. There we go. Actually, I don't want to put on blood boots. Never mind. Never mind. I was considering it. Okay, that's done. Let's see. I think we should grab this, but we'll give up double jump if we do that. Do we have one here? No, we have a double jump here though. So I say we grab this, but we're not actually gonna use it. Mostly because I'm running through on the Hokage and I'm trying to do a boss rush, and so I don't want to get destroyed on my way to the boss. So I'm also gonna have setups for each character I'm gonna play with. Obviously, I'm not gonna use the same setup for the more damage. You know what? More damage. Because I'm a Hokage, right? I want a one-shot. Give me all the damage. 722. Can you afford me anything? Anything at all? Or are we just going to run it? Run it. So anyway, I'm going to have different setups for each person. I think I'm going to use the various runes to make enemies stronger when I get a barbarian, since I'll just be tanky. For the Hokage, I'm going to turn all of that off because I want to actually try and get to the boss. If I can avoid that room, I would like to. Ooh, woof. Not looking good. I want to try and get to the boss without taking much damage. Okay, this will be a good way to get through. Don't be a dumbass. Thank you. Don't need that. So, I'm gonna try... This was lucky that I got this. I don't believe I would get enough gold to buy anything, really, but... Hey. That's cool. I wasn't even paying attention. What a jerk. Oh, and I blew up the statue in here. So much for that. I'm not reading that. I'm gonna hold off on reading more journals because the man's in the land of darkness. Alright. I'm not even there. So I'm gonna try to hold off on reading more. Just run through. I don't have any iframes right now, but hey, by the time I get to where I need to get to, I should have been able to recover some health. Can I beat Alexander like this? Oh heck no. In fact, in one of the failed runs, I used the Hokage to try and fight Alexander. And one of the issues I ran into was... Hold on. Yeah. Figured you'd be right there. I need to unpause and dash. Thank you. If I were the boss of the forest... That was close. But yeah, in one of the failed recordings, I tried to fight Alexander with a Hokage just rushing to him. And I think it was a Hokage with dwarfism. And I just kept having... My attack range was so short that I couldn't hit Alexander without taking damage myself, so that sucked. I don't believe he'd be over here. Land of Darkness, sup? Let's go down. Oh, hold on. There is treasure in here. Ah, I wanted to try. I wanted to try so bad. Lady Evelyn was done in by a projectile. I completely ignored my own, hey, this is what I'm gonna do from now on. I should have kept in the forest. 89 damage. Okay. Rogue Legacy.